Here are 51 things about Deadpool you didn't know, and you definitely didn't know most of them. Deadpool was inspired by Spider-Man. Deadpool creator Rob Liefeld made a character similar to Spider-Man, but with more crude jokes and a down-to-earth attitude. Deadpool was produced on a low budget. Just before they started making the movie, 20th Century Fox cut $7 million from the budget, so they had to make some big changes to the script. Deadpool made an incredible $782.6 million all around the world. It was the 9th highest earning movie of 2016 and became the highest earning R-rated movie ever. Reynolds shared that Deadpool's main swords are named Bea and Arthur, which seems to be a nod to the character's ongoing love for the late actress, as shown in the comics. Reynolds' funny and detailed performance as Deadpool was different from the usual superhero roles. It got him nominated for a Golden Globe, which was a first for any actor in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Olivia Munn almost played the role of Vanessa Carlyle, but she declined because she didn't want the role of a girlfriend, but rather a role that'll see her fight and be in action. Later, the role was given to Miranda Baccarin. Getting Fox to make a second Deadpool movie wasn't difficult for Reynolds. Deadpool 2 came out in 2018 with a bigger budget of $110 million, but it was so worth it because it made $785 million at the box office, even more than the first one. So Deadpool 2 became the highest grossing R-rated movie ever, beating the first one. It's interesting that Reynolds started his acting career in 1991, which is the same year that Deadpool was introduced in the comics. Reynolds' path to playing Deadpool started way back before X-Men Origins Wolverine. He was initially set to star in a Deadpool movie back in 2004. It took him years of effort to actually make the movie happen, and it finally came out in 2016. Deadpool was shot entirely in Vancouver, and they hired lots of local people to act or help with the filming. It was kind of like coming back home for Reynolds since he grew up in Vancouver. Reynolds didn't use a muscle suit, which the movie's director, Tim Miller, thought made Deadpool look leaner and more like he does in the comics. The idea for Deadpool started when his artist Rob Liefeld read DC's Teen Titans comics and got inspired by Deathstroke. They had similar costumes and traits, and both DC and Marvel recognized this. That's why Deadpool's name, Wade Wilson, is kinda like Slade Wilson, Deathstroke's name. Deadpool's healing power is so strong that it made his cancer grow even faster instead of getting rid of it. Deadpool got nominated for 2 Golden Globes, 8 MTV Movie Awards, and 16 Choice Awards. Those are kinda popular award shows, but it also got nominations from the PGA, DGA, and WGA, which are more serious ones. One thing that makes Deadpool different from other superheroes is that he talks directly to the audience, which is called breaking the fourth wall. In the first Deadpool movie, he does this 23 times, and in Deadpool 2, it's estimated that he does it 23 times again. Donald Glover, the guy behind Atlanta, and also known as Childish Gambino, said in 2017 that he and his brother were making a Deadpool cartoon. But then in 2018, FX said that they had to stop because they couldn't agree on how to make it. Ryan Reynolds had a big role in the Deadpool movie. He not only played Deadpool, but he also worked as a producer, helped fix the script, edited the movie, and even took charge of marketing. He worked non-stop, always rewriting the script, adding jokes, and even calling the president of Fox Studios' marketing department late at night to share ideas. When the company making the movie, 20th Century Fox, wouldn't pay the writers Paul Wernick and Rhett Reese to give advice during filming, Reynolds stepped in and paid them himself. He thought their input was really important for the movie to do well. Deadpool is the first X-Men movie where you don't see Hugh Jackman in person, but in Deadpool 2, they used old scenes of him from another X-Men movie. In one of his interviews, Ryan Reynolds mentioned that his full-body makeup took nearly 8 to 9 hours, after which he was not able to sit or lie down. The molten-looking skin of Wade Wilson was done by Bill Corso and his team. Ryan Reynolds said that the movie includes more than 100 references to pop culture. These range from hidden surprises to appearances by other Marvel superheroes, and even clever jokes poking fun at them. During the making of Deadpool 2, there was a tragic accident when a stunt woman, Joy Harris, lost control of her motorcycle while filming a scene and sadly died in the crash that followed. They stopped filming for 2 days after that. When Deadpool first showed up in a comic in 1991, people didn't think he'd become a big deal. He was just another bad guy for some mutant heroes to fight. Much like Joker, the real past of Deadpool was a mishmash of stories, mostly told by the hero himself. Most of the stories were not true, and there's good reason for that, as Deadpool has no memories of his childhood or his past. In addition to getting swole to play Deadpool, Reynolds also hired a swordmaster on his own dime to train him in the art of swordplay. In a comic series from 2004, Deadpool compared himself to Ryan Reynolds crossed with a Shar-Pei, which made Reynolds think that he was meant to play the character. But in the comic, Ryan Reynolds' name is misspelled as Ryan Reynolds. When Deadpool breaks his hand trying to punch Colossus, he says, "Canada!" That's because both Wade Wilson, Deadpool, and Ryan Reynolds are Canadian. "O Canada" is Canada's national anthem. Deadpool 1 only took 48 days to shoot. Ryan Reynolds mentioned that Deadpool will be the last comic book character he plays in a movie, but he's okay with doing more Deadpool movies or making appearances in them. Deadpool claimed in the comic book series Deadpool's Secret Wars by Cullen Bunn, Matteo Lolli, and Jacopo Camagni that he was part of the original Marvel Secret Wars storyline, which made him Venom before Spider-Man. The actual event series took place 7 years before Deadpool's first Marvel appearance. In January 2012, a 3-minute test reel was filmed to try to convince the studio bosses to make the movie. Then on August 1st, 2014, they showed that footage to the public. Fans loved it so much that the movie finally got the green light to start filming. They even used part of that footage in the actual movie because it was so popular. In the opening credits, you can spot a People magazine with the headline, "Ryan Reynolds, Sexiest Man Alive." It's a real magazine issue from 2010 where Reynolds was named the sexiest man alive. Deadpool is pansexual. Wade flirts with just about anyone. According to Marvel Now writer Jerry Duggan, he'll flirt with men, women, androids, aliens, and even demons. The writers of Deadpool 2 worked on many different versions of the movie before deciding on the one that was shown in theaters. Some versions had different bad guys like Mr. X fighting Deadpool, or Black Tom Cassidy being the main enemy. Deadpool's obsession with chimichangas came from a joke that one of the creators wanted to put in a comic before they even made Deadpool. After Reynolds asked for Deadpool's suit, a no wasn't even an option, as he said, "I've waited 10 years to do this movie, so I'm leaving with a fucking suit." Reynolds referenced his Canadian roots by including a reference to the Canadian superhero Team Alpha Flight in Deadpool 2. You can spot it as an ad on a taxi for an airline called Alpha Flight. China didn't allow the Deadpool 1 movie because they found it offensive. For the first movie, they made 9 different Deadpool suits for Reynolds to wear. During filming, 7 of them got wrecked or ruined. The suits look so much like the ones in the comics that Reynolds got really emotional and even cried the first time he saw them. The pizza place that Wilson orders from at the start of the first movie is called Feige's Famous Pizza. In the first movie, there's a list of 20 names on the Deadpool board, and most of them are famous people like Kanye West, Mike Tyson, Shia LaBeouf, and Miley Cyrus. Even Reynolds and TJ Miller, who star in the movie, are on the list. Deadpool has bovinophobia, which is the fear of cows. Deadpool had less money to make than those big superhero movies like X-Men, Iron Man, Avengers, or Captain America. In 2010, the entire script for Deadpool got leaked online. Fans really liked it and wanted the movie to happen. Eventually, about 70% of what was in that leaked script ended up being used in the final version of the movie. In the beginning, Deadpool was just an assassin. However, he went through experimentation when he joined up with the Canadian government's Department X. This was the government branch that financed Alpha Flight and had Wolverine as an agent before he joined the X-Men. Stan Lee made his usual appearance in Deadpool by being the DJ in a strip club, but in Deadpool 2, he's only shown as a graffiti painting on a building. At first, Miller and his visual effects coordinator, John Rothbart, thought they need about 700 VFX shots for the whole movie, but as they worked, the number kept going up to 800, then 900, and finally ended up at around 1200. Before Deadpool 2 came out, Reynolds made fun of a spoiler-free campaign that the makers of Avengers Infinity War did. They released a letter from the movie's bad guy Thanos asking fans not to spoil anything. Reynolds tweeted a similar letter for his movie, but with a joke twist. While he was warning people not to spoil the movie, he accidentally gave away a big spoiler himself. There was a joke and a scene that got filmed for Deadpool 2, but they didn't make it into the final movie because everyone thought they were too extreme, but for different reasons. The joke was about Disney, and Wernick didn't say exactly what it was, but he admitted, "I would have probably blown up the Fox-Disney merger that is impending." Deadpool had a 1,000 to 1 chance of staying alive. In May 2015, Reynolds teamed up with the Make-A-Wish Foundation to make sure that some sick kids could visit him on the Deadpool set while they were filming. One of them was Tony Acevedo, who had Hodgkin's disease.